Hello everyone, I am here today with a new video. I am actually working on the opening page for my Canada album. I took the trip in May of 2024 and I'm finally getting to it now. This is not the paper I want to use. This happens to just be the back of the itinerary page, which I've already done. So I'm not using that. I do have some things I'm looking at here though. I have this kit that I got from Photoplay that's all about travel. These are all double-sided. So I have some fun options there. I'm thinking if I use any, it would be this one because Canada, red. It's kind of, the colors that are in their flag and all that. So I'm thinking about that. But I also have this older kit of stuff that I have been struggling a little bit to use. I don't know that anything here is appropriate for an opening page, but maybe something like this. That might work. It doesn't necessarily have to be color-coded to the country's flag. I just want it to be fun and exciting since it's an opening page. So I have all of that. I also have these two sticker sheets, and they actually go with this paper set. But I would be willing to pick a different background and just layer on a bunch of stickers if it worked, like to make it a fun cluster or something. Like I love this. I actually have some digital cutouts that are similar to that say different things. And so it did make me think like, I could kind of choose any background I want and then use that because it's a good word and it's black. So it matches with anything. So I am kind of considering all of these things as I do my page here. Now, because on the other side, I actually have the dates and like cities where I was, I don't need to put that here. Really, all I need is kind of a nice background, a couple of maybe generic travel related things, and then I probably will do alpha stickers. I could stamp it, but it would end up being quite large. Alpha stickers are probably a little bit safer to just do like Canada or Canada trip or something like that. But at least now you've seen this is what I am starting with for my opening page. So in this set of papers, I actually went in there to look at them because I didn't even remember exactly like what was on them all and that they had both sides. So I did find this. This is quite busy, but it is red and white. This is the other side, which I don't like at all for the opening page. And then there was this paper, and I originally pulled it because it had airplanes on it, and we flew. So I'm like, that might work. But look at the back. The back is actually better because it's red. It's a lot more subtle, but it's red. So those are also options that I have. And one thing I didn't mention is this opening page, as you can see here, is a 6x8, but this album is actually 6x12. I have one big 6x12 left that is travel themed. So I'm using it for this trip just because it was, so long and I have so much to fit in. That might be the last 6x12 I ever do, sadly. I really love the size, but it's become super difficult to find albums, at least in the US, that are made 6x12. I know some companies overseas, but the shipping to have them sent here has gotten so astronomical that unless I'm ordering just a crap ton of stuff, it's just not worth it for all the shipping. So this might be, sadly, my last 6x12. So in looking at these, I also realized, originally I thought they were from the same set. They're not. They do have some similar colors, but this one is from Simple Stories Here and There. This one is the travelogue one from Photoplay that goes with the paper I have. So they are not the same, even though some of the colors might work together. I wouldn't necessarily be afraid to mix and match, but they are different brands and different lines. I've decided to go with this paper, and just as a note, this is what's on the other side. I do like some of these tags, so luckily I have two pieces of this, so I may end up using some tags from it. I love this one with the city grid on top. I'm a sucker for that, so I do love it. I also love this one. It looks to be a 3x8, which is awesome because I do smaller albums that have 3x8 and 4x8 options, so those are great too. But otherwise, I am going to cut into this. I have to decide, do I want to cut it this way or this way? I have my paper cut down, and I decided to do it this way with these facing up because they kind of, have arrows in them, but they also look a little like trees. And we did do some outdoor nature things while we were in Canada. So I felt like that was fitting. And I think I'm going to try to mainly stick to the stickers that came with the kit, if I can get it. Here we go. These. But I kind of like this plain better than this one. So I may end up doing some mixing and matching, even though this is supposed to go with it. But some of these other things that are on here I really like this one that says Travelog. It's even got a plane, then I wouldn't have to use the other plane if I didn't want to. I like the compass. There are just several things here, so we'll see what happens. The first thing I want to do is get my title, and I want the big letters to say Canada. And I have this container that whenever I print digital things and I have extra pieces on the white paper, I cut them off and save them as scrap because I can do test stamping on here. I make little notes to myself, whatever. As you can see, it's very full. But it also works well for things like this, because if I wanted to, I could actually just take one of these and use it if it were long enough. Like this one's a little longer. This is actually a better option. So I'm going to take that one and see if I can use that for my alpha stickers, because I would much rather use a piece of scrap paper like this than have to cut into a new sheet just to do my title. So in looking at this, I really do want to try to incorporate this sticker, and it's brown. I thought at first like, oh, I could use black because it matches anything, but I might go brown. So I've pulled out all of my brown alphas here to see what do I have left in here that would be big enough, that I like the style, that it won't totally clash with this. So I'm going to go through all of those, and I'm sure I'll find something suitable. Of all of the alphabets, these are what I have left that I could use, that are either the right color, the right size, or that actually have all the letters I need, because some of those did not, or at least I could make them, because like here, Canada has 3 A's in it. I only have 2, but clearly these are very similar. I could just cut that off and make it an A, so like that would work. I'd be okay with that. These, I believe I have everything I need when I counted those out, and these, I've never even busted into them. Now, the problem with these is I love that they're this darker brown here, but it's the pattern on pattern. They're a grid, and I've already got this funky pattern. I'm not sure how that would look. So I think what I might do is actually build the rest of this and do the letters last. Because if I put on this sticker, and if I stamp anything or write anything else, that might help me know, like, oh, is it too much to have this funky alphabet? Do I need to go with something more subtle like this? We'll see. I have added 2 stickers already. I used the Travelog one, and I decided I did want to use that other airplane. So I put that on there. I think it looks fine with both of those, not worried about it. But then with this blue-gray color, I decided I'm also going to add this sticker that just says memories, and I'm going to put it underneath the Travelog. I'm going to overlap it just a little bit there. There we go. So I have that. And then I probably will have something that will overlap the title up here. I'm just not exactly sure what that is. I'll figure that out. But in looking at that, I almost wonder if these are the better way to go, because look how much darker these are. I almost feel like that's too dark. This is a nicer mix between this color and this color. All right, I put all my letters on here, and first thing is, can you tell which one is the A that I had to DIY, that I had to manufacture myself? Can you tell? I think I did a pretty good job. It's this one, and I decided to cut apart a B because I figured I used less of those maybe than I would D's. I mean, they look kind of, you know, similar. It's just opposite sides, so I'm like, okay, fine, that's probably a good option. I also could have done a G if I wanted. It's one nice thing about a font like this. Oh, you know what? I should have done a Q. How often am I going to use a Q? Really? But you know what? Turn it this way, it's a B anyway. So I guess it works out. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and I think it turned out well. So that's going to go up here. And I purposely left some room that if I didn't like the spacing, I can just cut off what I don't need, and that's probably what will happen. I also think I want this to be a little rougher. It's a little too even for my taste right now. I like that better. A little bit more visually interesting against the background. Okay, so I have that. And then I'm wondering, do I need to do some ink splattering maybe? I do have something that's kind of this color. Do I have a gray blue? I have a gray for sure. Don't know that I have a gray blue though that will match this. We'll see about that. Or maybe I can just add in some other stickers or something that will highlight that color. I stuck this down and I decided to leave this extra there because I want to overlap some things. And this one worked out great. I actually pulled that off of the other sticker sheet. So I had these and this. So the plane came from the Simple Stories, and the map, kind of with sunglasses, whatever, cluster came from Photoplay. And then I'm also thinking about using this one, which is also from the Simple Stories. It has a little bit of that blue, and that's a pretty good match. And I'm wondering if I should just kind of layer it, maybe like that. And then I can just cut off the extra there too. I kind of want to cover up that lower corner there like that. That's not bad. It's kind of weird that it's a matchbook. Like, smoking isn't allowed on planes for certain, and in not many places anymore. But they chose to do a matchbook. But I like the design of it, so I'll use it. Let's see, is that good? Do I want more? I think I maybe do want a little of the ink splattering on here, so I'll do that. This is the color I chose. So you can see this is an old one from Glimmer Mist. I've had it forever, but I still have lots left, and it's called Light Rosewood. And then hopefully you can see where it landed here. I think that's just enough. I don't need a ton more. I will just let that sit here and dry. But here's my first page ready for Canada. Thanks for watching.